No. Ryan, please don't die. I need you for my video aesthetics. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all staying healthy and doing well and all that jazz. This video is another portfolio video. As some of you guys might know, most of my subscribers came from my interior architecture and design portfolio video that I posted about a year ago. Since then, things have changed. I have changed course at university because I really didn't like the interior architecture course that I joined. And now I am pursuing graphic design at university. So I present you another portfolio, graphic design. Before I start showing you guys the actual portfolio, I want to talk you through the universities that I've chosen and the universities that accepted me, the ones that didn't accept me, because it's kind of complicated. I applied to 5 courses in total. I applied to 3 UAL courses, 1 Goldsmiths course and 1 Greenwich course, University of Greenwich. I'm gonna list all the details in the description, so if you guys want to know the courses, the actual name of the courses that I applied to, they're gonna be down in the description. It's too long to say in this video. So what happened is I got asked for a portfolio from all the universities. Goldsmiths and Greenwich asked me to go to the interview. I didn't go to those interviews, so I can't tell you if this portfolio would have been accepted by those unis. For UAL, I applied to LCC, CSM and Chelsea, I think. So they asked me for a portfolio. They didn't invite me to an interview first. They wanted to see a first draft of my portfolio. So what I did was I uploaded the portfolio on their website. LCC accepted me without interview, which I hear that they do a lot. So LCC, I didn't have to go to an interview for LCC, which is the course I ended up accepting. Then for CSM and Chelsea, after seeing my portfolio, they asked me to come to an interview. I already knew I wanted to go to the course at LCC, which is graphic and media design. It's very suited for me, more suited than the other 2 courses. So I chose not to go to the interview because I already had my safe option. I was not gonna go to the other unis anyway, so what's the point, you know? But yeah, the point is this portfolio was fully accepted by London College of Communication and partly accepted by CSM and Chelsea. Let's go. My first slide is just my introductory slide on where I said my name and the name of the course, and I also put one of my favorite digital arts of mine. It's just a line art of a city. For each piece I wrote a little description. They said it's best not to write too much, not to describe your piece too much. So I just wrote a really short description. Some advice I would give you when making a portfolio, especially for a creative-based course, is to have a story to it, a theme that every piece in the portfolio can relate to. So my portfolio is centered around the theme of heavy social media usage and how it can affect our everyday lives. And in my first 2 projects, I looked at the negative ways in which social media influences us, and then in my other 2 projects, my last 2 projects, I looked at the ways these negative effects could be diminished, leading us to like becoming happier people and all of that. Also, I chose not to have a lot of projects. I chose to focus on my quality, on the quality of my projects rather than just having a lot of pieces that don't make any sense. So really try to pick out your best work and focus on that. Present the progress from the first step, from the initial step, the very first step to the last step. Your thought process is very important to them. They want to know how you think rather than just seeing a final product. So my first piece in the portfolio, my first actual piece, is called Behind Every Success Story Hides the Chaos of How It Came to Be. It's a pretty long title. The purpose of this project is to develop on the idea that most people compare each other to what they see on social media. While they're on their own path to success, they encounter people who have already achieved what they want to achieve, and so they compare each other to them and think they can never do it, or there's no point in them doing it if someone else has already done it. But obviously that's a very toxic mindset to have. What I did was I unveiled my own chaos behind one of my success stories. The way it is related to my inspiration is that the theme of the magazine that I got inspired by is chaos in art. And I found, while looking through the magazine, I found that the images reminded me of my Korean practice notes. So what I did was I scanned these Korean practice notes, then I traced over them in Photoshop using my graphic tablet, and I made this poster. The key point of it is looking at it in two ways. One, when you look at it from a distance, and secondly, when you look at it from up close. So when you look at it from a distance, you can only see the big words that I wrote onto it, which is henetta, which is I did it in Korean to prove that I actually learned it, even though the progress has been very chaotic. So while people look at it from afar, they only see the big word, they only see I did it, which makes them feel kind of small, especially if they're only at the beginning and only at the point where I was when I was taking those chaotic notes. But when they look at it up close, they can see what's going on behind the I did it, behind the success. It really doesn't look great. Like, I think the poster is really ugly, to be honest. The point is not the way it looks. Well, it is a bit, but most important is what you make people feel. My second project is called On the Other Side, and it portrays the effects that heavy social media usage has on our mental health especially. You probably all relate to this or have related to this at some point in your life. You compare yourself to posts you see of people on social media, but the truth is, behind these photos there's a lot going on that you don't actually know about. So this is what this project is about. I did a photo shoot of my friend, edited the photos, printed the photos, and put them up on like bigger pieces of paper. And I showed the two sides of a social media influencer. The good side that they portray on their social media, and the bad side that is what's going on behind the scenes. And to highlight those two sides, I kind of wrote some paragraphs, and then after that I did kind of an exhibition with the photos. I hung them in a way that I could only see the Instagram side, like the good side of the influencer, while obviously not seeing what's going on behind the scenes. So this is an accurate portrayal of what is going on social media nowadays. I already included this in my interior architecture and design portfolio, but I elaborated on it way more in my graphic design portfolio. It is called Do You Have a Moment, which is the name of this cafe that I designed. The vibe is you're not alone, we are here for you, everyone is here for you, please come here and tell us all your worries. In this bottom right corner I just wrote what every picture represents. The top left corner is just the plan of the cafe, a sketchbook plan, and then a digital plan. In the bottom left corner I just have a mood board of the cafe. In the bottom center I have some sketches of the furniture that goes into the cafe. In the top right corner is just a sketch and then a 3D model. One of the new things I added to this project is a neon sign that goes, obviously just like every shop has a sign, this goes on top of the entrance of the cafe. And to show the process of making it, I scanned the page of my notebook in which I created the font. Then I showed how I sketched over my sketchbook font in Photoshop to make a digital font. And then we have the final sign. It is a pink neon sign, which looks really pretty. I'm really proud of this project. Like, this is probably my favorite project. It's something I actually want to create in the future. maybe not a cafe, but a shop. I just feel like this is one of my projects that I am so emotionally attached to, and I will never ever let it go. Third, we have the menu design. I did this very last minute. I just kind of divided the page into 3, and I pasted a line art that I already had. But yeah, I just put the title of the cafe, and then we have the menu cover design. And my last project, which was also a very last minute project, which is why it turned out completely ugly. I am not proud of it at all. Okay, I'm proud of the idea, which is why I put it in my portfolio, obviously. Just the results. This teddy cloud light basically came from me wanting to make something that would make people feel less anxious. These sketches up here represent my thought process. So I've got my initial ideas, which was kind of a lamp, like a cloud lamp that you put on a shelf, but then I realized that's not really gonna ease your anxiety, is it, just by looking at it? So I found out about teddy fabric, and I was like, oh, teddy fabric, you know what, I could make a teddy bear. But then I was like, that's too boring. So wait, I could make a teddy bear shaped like a cloud. So this is why it's called a teddy cloud, because it's a cloud, not a teddy bear. Okay, you get the idea. And then I created my teddy cloud. The way I did it is I couldn't really find teddy fabric, so I bought a blanket and just drew a cloud on each side and then stitched the clouds together. And then the final slide of my portfolio, which is probably my favorite one just because I really like this digital art, kind of poster you would use for advertising it if you were to sell it as a product. I added 2 dialogue bubbles by comparing the before teddy cloud and after teddy cloud effect. On the first image, the girl is saying, I can't do this anymore, and the second image, the cloud lights up and is asking, do you need a hug? And that is pretty much it for my portfolio. It was a very short portfolio. I know it's not a good portfolio, well, not that good in my opinion, because I did it in 1 month, but yeah, I think it turned out great. I'm still proud of it. I hope this has helped you guys in some way if you're struggling with making a portfolio. I know on YouTube all the portfolio videos are like so good, and you think to yourself, oh my god, I could never do something like that. But you don't have to. I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Your art doesn't have to be amazing. Only your ideas have to be amazing. Your story has to be amazing. Your thought process has to be amazing. That's it. If you need any sort of advice, just send me a DM on Instagram. A lot of people have been doing that with my interior architecture portfolio. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling now. You guys have fun making your portfolios. Don't stress yourself out too much. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, leave a comment asking me anything that you want to know. If you want me to extend on something that I said in this video or on any of my projects, just leave it down in the comments below or send me a DM on Instagram, as I said before. And if you want to see more videos from me, make sure you check my other videos out and subscribe to my channel to see more content. And thank you for being with me so far. Stay safe. Bye bye.